Well, hello, and I'm down here in my basement where I have been most of my week. I feel like I have been living down here in my basement, like my bunker, I guess you could say. I'm going to block out some of the light here. And I trust that your quarantine is going pretty well. My quarantine has some good things in it and some challenging things that I'm finding. I'm finding some adjustments are being made and trying to figure out how to do ministry and do life right now under the current reality. But I guess that's what we're all facing and all dealing with. And um, Bonnie is home working as well. She's working upstairs, and I've been down in the basement. And we meet in the middle for lunch, and so that's been good. But via some video chat, and we're going to play a game. And so just to be able to kind of connect with all four of our kids, and so we're really looking forward to that. And so I'm sure you're making a bunch of adjustments, just like we are. So I wanted to moving forward with ministry. The broadcast on Monday morning is much more of a devotional thought. This is more about happenings in the life of the church. And as a staff, one of the things we've been saying about this current reality is that we don't want to give the impression that the church is closed. Building's closed, that's for sure, but the church is not closed. We're still the church, and we're still operating as a church. And so I want to take this time to just kind of give you a little flavor or a little understanding as to what we're trying to do to live as a church during this time. So we when we got started in this a couple weeks ago, it really felt overwhelming, I think, to be honest with you, to think about, okay, what all do we need to do to be able to move ministry forward? And I was in a conversation with some other pastors within our district, and one of the pastors made a very helpful comment. And he said, we took 5 areas of ministry, and the 5 areas were worship, communication, discipleship, equipping, and better minister and serve church family. So let me go over what we've been doing and where we're with each of those areas. And some of those things are things that you'll be able to participate in, and just want to let you be aware of them. So the first one is worship. And so, as you know, we've been live streaming our worship services. We're very encouraged about this. In fact, every Sunday after the service, we have just marveled at God's timing with the equipment that we have through the renovation and how that's enabled us to do what we're doing well. And so we're grateful for Jared's second week. What we wanted to work on was adding music, and we were able to do that. We pre-recorded the music part last week. This week, we're going to endeavor to do everything live. And so there should be the worship. You should have the words broadcasted on the screen, just like last week, present with you during this time to be able to minister to you. And one of the things we were talking about as a board, and this is kind of like a next step kind of a thing. So you'll be getting today an email from the church office. And in that email is going to be an invite that you can send out electronically to friends and to invite them to this virtual worship service on a Sunday. And what we're just those who may be willing to walk through the doors of the church. And so we really see this as a great opportunity to be able to broaden our reach, broaden our ability to be able to minister to people. And so when you get that today, take that invitation and go and invite people to join us for the feed worship service this Sunday and the Sundays to come. The second thing we'd love you to do is to consider doing this. If you would take pictures of your family worshiping together in your home and send them to us. We'd like to be able to share them with the church family and just kind of give us a flavor of what's going on in your homes, and also give us a sense of being connected to you as well. So we're going to continue doing our live stream worship services, and we would encourage you to invite people to participate in that. So that's one thing that we've been working on. A second thing we're working on is communications. And so this is one of the examples of what we're trying to do. So we recognize that because of just being separated from each other physically, the isolation that takes place in that we really need to work on making sure that we're connecting and communicating with you. And so we've got this rhythm that probably you're already aware of. Monday morning at 7:30, I'm going to do a weekly devotional, and we did that this past week. Obviously, most people probably won't look at it live, but it's available for people to look at afterwards, and just a way to encourage you spiritually during this time. And so we'll continue that this coming Monday. Secondly, Wednesday, we've been doing this for a long time as a way of staying up to date as to what's going on. And then Friday is today, and this is what we're doing on Friday, just kind of giving you an update as to what's going on in the life of the ministry. And then obviously Sunday, we have the live stream service. So there's four real good opportunities to connect this during the course of the week. Monday at 7:30, Wednesday through the Pulse, Friday at 1 o'clock, and then Sunday for our worship gathering of volunteer staff as well, who really stepped up at this time. And so right now in discipleship, our children's ministry, our children leaders already had a meeting. And so it starts off on YouTube. And then they have small groups afterwards. And you can watch that at WEFC Youth. And then also our community groups, we're getting them ramped up. And so the idea is that we are continuing to do discipleship and to do ministry. And we're going to be looking into more opportunities to do that, possibly even some Bible classes that we can offer through this capacity as well. And then this past Wednesday, we had about 20 some people that met for a prayer event. And we spent time praying together. And we're able to put people in smaller groups and small chat rooms, if you will. And today, the first Wednesday of the month, we are part of a thing called CT Praise. And CT Praise is a goal with a bunch of churches in Connecticut to blanket Connecticut in prayer 24/7. And so the day we chose to participate in that is the first Wednesday of the month. And we're working on trying to get people to consider taking a 1 hour slot on the first Wednesday of the month. People navigate the technical aspects of communicating through video. And so that's been a big part of what we've been trying to do. We had a meeting last night with our community group facilitators, going to have another meeting on Saturday. And so that's a big thing about what we've been doing with regard. Our goal is we know that organically there's a lot of people connecting with people, and we really appreciate that. Really encourage you to continue the cracks. And so we realize that we have several means by which we can extend and reach out and care for people in the church. So some of you are in ministry teams, so we've asked your ministry team leaders to be reaching out to you to check in to see how you're doing. We have community people that they've already been caring for and continue to care for, and so they're reaching out. But that still leaves us with a pocket of people who may not be in a community group, may not be on a ministry team, may not be in the purview of the caring ministry that we want to be reaching out to. So our board has taken those names, and they're going to be reaching out to people. And so we just want to make sure we're touching base with everyone as best as we can. So that's our desire, to be able to reach out to everyone connected in life of the church. And one of the things that we've noticed is people are saying, first of all, this was in the Pulse. We are beginning to collect names of people who say, if you need someone to go pick up groceries, if you need someone to go do some errand for somebody because they can't because of the virus, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. So if that's something that you're interested in, go to the Pulse, and just kind of, there's a way you can just sign up through the Pulse or contact the church office through email, and we'd be happy to get you connected to be able to go and help and be able to minister to people. And so Janice Catrone is going to be organizing that. And so when she becomes aware of needs, she may be contacting you if you've signed up to be able to go and help. Secondly, you should know we do have a deacon fund, and we are collecting funds anticipating that there will be people in need. We already are aware of several people in our church family who have lost their jobs just this week. And so we want to be able to help them. And so if you're wanting to be able to contribute to helping people in that kind of a financial need, simply mark on your check Deacon Fund, and that will go to about. I know many of you are aware of this, the need for surgical masks, and so there are groups that are um, helping to facilitate sewing, putting together surgical masks. And so if you would like contact with those groups, contact either, we have quite a few people in our church in the medical community, and just hearing from them, this is a very trying and challenging time for them. So this would be a way for you to be able to come around and help them. And then if I could kind of talk about the opposite side of that coin, needing help. If you need help, please don't hesitate to ask. If you know someone who needs help, encourage them to ask or ask. So we really want you to make your need known if you have one, and we want to be able to come around you at this time. Lastly, I just want to let you know that there's a couple announcements I just want to share with you. Number one, we had to postpone Casket Empty, the New Testament seminar, so we're not really sure we're going to do this at this point. So our hope is that we'd be able to rescheduled at some point. So this time, though, we can't do it in April. And then the congregational meeting that's regularly scheduled for April, we have decided to postpone that. And when we figure out the date as to when we can do that, we'll let you know about that. All right. Well, that's about all that I have, and I just appreciate you expressing interest in the ministry, and keep us in prayer as we seek to continue to be the church in this reality. And if there's anything that you feel we ought to be aware of or know that we can best help you, please let us know, and we want to be able to minister to you. All right. God bless, and see you Sunday. All right. Take care.